Welcome to 5 Minutes VHDL Podcast, the podcast where we talk about VHDL and hardware design. In this episode, I want to introduce the conditional assignment statement in VHDL. As any programming language, even if we say that VHDL is an hardware description language, not programming. By the way, even in VHDL, it is possible to implement a conditional statement. But since the VHDL is an hardware description language, we can implement the conditional statement either in concurrent way or in sequential way. We introduced the process that we know that is a sequential statement. So, as you can imagine, the sequential conditional statement can be used only inside a sequential statement and inside a process or function and procedure. Okay, if you go on the Telegram channel, we can see the first example of conditional statement. In this case, this is an example of a concurrent conditional statement. The syntax is the assignment A less than equal B when, that is at the VHDL keyword, C another signal is equal to 1, else a VHDL keyword D. So this is the implementation, the very simple implementation of a mux. In this case, the output A takes the value of B when the selector is 1, or takes the value of D when the selector is 0. This is the typical way of mux description in concurrent way in the VHDL. In the second picture, we can see an example of a four-way mux. In this case, we have the input A, B, C, D, and the output E. In this example, the output E takes the value of A when the selector is 0. Note that we have a double concurrent statement. The first is the selector, and the second one is the mux. This is a way for not repeating such line of codes. In fact, instead of repeat the cell when cell is equal to 0, else, etc., in the first part of the code, we codify the selector using the concurrent conditional statement. Then we use the with select syntax in order to avoid the repetition of cell. So with cell, that means using the signal cell, select one of these choice. In this case, we have cell is equal to 0 when S1 is 0 and S0 is 0. Is equal to 1 when S1 is 0 and S1 is 1, and so on. Is the binary conversion of S1 and S0. And then we have the four-way mux described with the with cell syntax. So in this case, we have with cell select and with is the VHDL keyword, E less equal A when 0, B when 1, C when 2, D when others. You must use others as the last assignment, because cell, the signal cell, is of integer type. So the selection must be covered for all the range of the integer, and the integer can assume the value in the range -2 to the power of 31 to 2 to the power of 31 minus 1. So about 4 billion, minus 4 billion to up for plus 4 billion. So all the values that are not covered must be covered with using when others. In the picture, there is the RTL view of the the four-way max implementation and the technology view of the four-way max implementation. In the sequential version of the conditional statement, we can use the if statement. It is very simple. It is the keyword if with condition, then the statement. Keyword else if with condition, then the sequence, the other statement, and the keyword else if you have the else condition and the else condition statement. The statement is closed using and if. In the image, in the third image, we can see an example of if statement. If A greater than B, then C less equal to, else if B equal to 0, etc. This is the simple syntax in VHDL. When you want to use a multiple choice with no priority, if you take a look on the if condition, you have a priority because if, else if give you the possibility to implement a priority in your if statement. When you don't want to use priority, you can use the case statement as a conditional statement. The case statement is also sequential conditional statement and introduce no priority. In this case, the example is very simple. Case, that is a VHDL keyword. Expression is when choice 1, sequential statement, when choice 2, and etc. In this case, also, you have to use when others to cover all the possibility that are not covered from the upper choice. You can download a very simple example using the Telegram channel where you can see example on if, when, and case. If you have any question, you can contact me using my contact in the episode description. And see you soon. Ciao.